Spotlight Live.
Let's go! I'm aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking about the awesome fans of Lego. So build your mock and shift it into drive. It's time for AFOL Spotlight Live.
Ryan, how you doing, man?
Boone, I'm doing good, buddy. It's great to be here with you.
Welcome to the Spotlight. Now,
crazy.
Little do people know that you've been to Denmark. You've built some incredible things. Are you allowed to talk about the thing you told me about today?
Yes, yeah, I got clearance on that one.
Yeah, we got a lot of really exciting things to talk about. This is AFOL Spotlight Live. On my channel here, my hope is to encourage people to be creative, fans of Lego, young or old. Let's hit the live chat. We got Little Gamer, GMC Lego Productions, Commander Thorn, Alex Baya, the MMG 3000, Dry Eye, Lego Creator, Persons, 2015, Clawmaster. There are too many people's names for me to read in there. And my production assistant here is telling me that my audio is peaking again. I'm going to switch over to my my other microphone. Ryan, why don't you tell us how did you get into the Lego fan community?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a Lego person my whole life. I started very young, as many of us do. I was obsessed with Lego in my early childhood, but had a long kind of dark ages through teenager and high school and college. And really can thank my mother both for supporting my Lego habit as a child, but also getting me back into it. I had started building with my daughter pretty significantly about 7 years ago, and that's really when I was like, oh man, I forgot how much I love this. And my mom bought me my first like adult set. It was that blue and gray X-wing, Poe's X-wing from Force Awakens, and I just was like, fell totally back in love with Lego and dove straight in. And I immediately started thinking about the things that I could build now, because when I started looking around, I realized you can like get parts, and there's this whole community of people that just build things that they want to. And it was like this art form that I had really no idea about, to be honest. And that's really the beginning of where the reef, the coral reef that I'll show you in a bit here. But I started that pretty early on, about 4 years ago now, and that was really my first introduction to making large scale mocks and things that I thought maybe I could show other people.
Yeah. And
Go ahead.
I think I first met you at Bricks Cascade in 2018, 2019?
Officially in 2019. I came a couple of years before that, just as a public member. But
Okay.
yeah, and I do want to say, Boone, you were one of the coolest guys when I first met you at Bricks Cascade. Like, came up and super nice, and I was a total stranger to everyone. I knew no one at the show before I came. So it was really weird and awkward, and you just came right up and you're like, "Hey man, what's going on?" You're totally Boone, you know. So I just have to say thank you for that.
Well, yeah, no problem. That's good. You had a beard, you had glasses, you had an incredible mock there. So I felt like this is a guy I need to know, and I'm glad we met then, and it's good. My audio seems to be all over the place. Hopefully this is getting a little bit better. I've switched microphones. How about this? People are telling me now I'm a little too low. I'm turning myself up a little bit, and I think that for those of you if you're wearing earbuds, you might only have me in one side, but we're going to press forward. So, Ryan, I've got these slides here. Do you want to talk about those now, or you want to tell us a little bit more before we dive into the slides?
I'll just give a brief intro because my experience has been so crazy, and certainly nothing I could have predicted. But yeah, Bricks Cascade 2019 was the first time I'd shown anyone in the public anything I'd ever made. I didn't have anything on social media. I was just a dude in his house and in the country making stuff. And that experience, bringing that work there, but also the community, the people that I've met, has been absolutely astounding. Not just because of what ended up happening to me, but just an amazing group of people that absorbed me and welcomed me into this amazing community. It's just been incredible.
So, tell a little bit about how, because let's see. Oh, I guess we can just dive into the pictures, and then you can kind of talk about that.
Good.
What do you think?
Sure.
We good with that?
Yep.
So, what do we got here?
Yeah, so this was the final build at my house before I took it to Bricks Cascade 2019. And one thing I knew pretty early on was that I wanted to add some lighting to make this look more like what coral reefs look like when they're underwater. If any of you have scuba dived or snorkeled or even watched documentaries, the reef has a really strange vibe to it because the light is being absorbed as it goes through the water. So anyway, I really wanted to focus on that with the lighting and the look. And so I took these images really the night before Bricks Cascade and kind of the final build as I got it ready to pack up and take it to the show. And then the whole weekend was a whirlwind. And honestly, I didn't, and this is the honest truth, I had no idea there were awards. I had no idea there was best in show. I didn't know any of that. I just wanted people to see this thing that I built, and I was proud of it. And it turned out that there were awards, and I won a couple here for best in show and also unique piece usage for the mixed theme, and just insane. Like the weekend was just wild.
Well, I gotta say, in one of the things that everybody loved about this was the parts usage. I mean, you've got colors in there that are just brilliant. I'm gonna see if we can do a. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can get this to zoom in a little bit, and I'm just gonna do it. We're just gonna crank it out here, and everyone's gonna wait for us to just get it to where we want it to be because it's gonna be awesome once we see it. So here we go. This is a little bit better view on some of these pictures that you got in here. And I remember one of the things that blew me away was like some of the ways that you emulated the sea life in here. So the shark is your build, right? Is your design.
Yeah.
And then you've got like some of those, I remember those like anglerfish heads that are down in there. So tell me a little bit about like what were some of your favorites, like parts that you discovered when building this thing.
And that's a long list for sure, but I teach marine biology. I'm a marine biologist and scientist by nature, so I knew I wanted to feel real. Like I knew I couldn't make the corals look exactly like corals, but I wanted them to at least kind of emulate what coral looks like. So I can't even tell you how many hours on Bricklink just trying to find unique pieces that I knew I wanted to look, so I just had to find the piece. And the first coral that started this whole thing 4 years ago was one of the droid arm corals. So I took the battle droid arms from the Star Wars battle droids, and I just looked at that piece, and I'm like, that looks so much like staghorn or elkhorn coral. And then I was like, well, how can I put these together to make them look coral-like? And then that was the first one that started it all. And then it was just years of that, literally 3 years of finding cool pieces. And I tell people I have a closet full of old corals that I didn't use. I went through hundreds of different builds till I
Wow.
found the ones that I liked, that fit my look and were at least reasonable, to be real corals. And uh, some of the cool stuff, like the umbrellas for the jellyfish, that just turned out awesome. The elephant trunks for the anemone.
I'm gonna
Uh,
I'm gonna go back to this first picture because I think that's just so cool looking under the lights
yeah,
and
and that
all that.
too. When I put that light on it, and real coral actually does that. It has that phosphorescent look to it.
Right.
I raised coral in aquariums for years, and use a blue light on it, and literally the real corals do this. So I thought it was pretty amazing how Lego's translucent pieces do that as well. Super cool.
Awesome. Okay, so then it looks like these next couple of pictures here, you've got some sort of in progress things going on.
Yeah,
Is that
so what this is showing my entire rebuild. So I guess I should preempt this a little bit. So at Bricks Cascade 2019, I was approached by two people from the Lego group, Stuart Harris and Jan Beyer. Stuart Harris runs the Lego house in Billund, Denmark, and he actually asked me to bring the coral reef there. Which again, the whole experience, I didn't even know what was going on. I was just kind of blown away. But this picture is the beginning of my entire rebuild. So believe it or not, I actually tore the entire reef apart, every piece basically, and started over, because I wanted to fit the dimensions of the Lego house displays. So part of the rebuild was building this secondary tier to show the drop off the reef.
that's amazing.
So I did want to show that process a little bit. Yeah, so here you can see it totally. This is right before I packed it up for Lego House. So you can see how that left side adds the dimension of the deeper water and the drop off. I spent a whole summer making sea turtles, so you could see those guys in the front. So this is like a whole new rebuild with additional corals as well as different dimensions.
Yeah, it's really wonderful, and I can only imagine that when Stuart saw this, it was like this is the kind of thing that really showcases what you're able to capture with the Lego elements, right? And of course that's I just his job is not my job, but I just imagine like that's one of the things they want to do there is their people are coming from around the world to the Lego house in Billund, Denmark, and when they get up to the top of that building, which is where it was Masterpiece Gallery.
Yes, sir.
When,
Yeah.
when they you sort of walk up and you start your experience in the Masterpiece Gallery, and um, like I said, people have come from all over the world, and for them to see this, and for people who they might be there because their kids are huge Lego fans, or they might be there because they're big Lego fans, and to really see something that is unparalleled in its ability to sort of capture the natural world. I think it's really easy to think about Lego as buildings, helicopters, fire trucks, but to capture so well this really beautiful natural thing that exists in the world is wonderful. So that's really cool. Okay, so
Thanks.
it looks to me like maybe your next pictures are like packing up for the trip.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the drop off again. You can see the shipwreck and some of the new corals on the drop off, and then yeah, if you
So the original didn't have a shipwreck, is that true?
no, it did. It just wasn't. It didn't quite pop out as much. I think part of it was the way it was displayed at Bricks
Sure.
Cascade.
Okay.
The tables, and makes it hard to see the side. But I wanted to showcase that. I knew that when I was in contact with Stuart and his crew there, that I would have a display that had a viewing angle on the front and on the left side as you were viewing it. So I kind of built this all knowing that it would be showcased that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. And I think when I first saw like the first pictures of you after it had been installed at the Lego house, that was a notable difference between the model that I had seen at Bricks Cascade. Was like, ooh, he's got this multi-level thing going on. That was really cool. So was that like, did they tell you sort of, here's what we have and you can do whatever you want with it, or what was that conversation like?
Yeah, it was. They have a shout out to Soren and Berthe at Lego House. They're amazing people that coordinated with me. But they told me the dimensions, and we went back and forth a few times. And I told them I need the dimension down to the millimeter so I can make this whole thing line up. And they have these big blocks in the displays that you can move.
Okay.
And a lot of people bring multiple mocks, and kind of set them up at different tiers. But I knew I was bringing one, and it was going to occupy my entire space.
Right.
And so they gave me the dimensions, and it worked out perfect. That drop off section actually isn't attached to the top section at all, but it slides together.
Right.
Because I knew that would be an easier way to do that as opposed to trying to get it to all click together.
That's cool. But before we move on, since we're in this view, I just want to look at the camera and tell everyone thank you so much for being with us. We got Ryan. He's talking to us about his incredible Fragile Reef build. We're just about to dive into his trip to Lego House in Billund, Denmark. It's there at the Lego World Headquarters. But I just want to thank some people. Holly has joined us. Thank you. Paladin is here. Rod Wingblad is here. Some of my moderators, Ben Kahn, Dave Morgan, Moto, and Perry Wang. Thank you all so much for being here. See You Later is back. FRNQ66. Jeff McElwee, there he is. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. So, Ryan, it looks like suitcases. How many suitcases did it require to get this thing headed across the world?
That's three entire suitcases packed with coral reef. It mostly did okay. So what I originally built it so that it could be modular, taken apart. So each one of the kind of bubble wrapped square things you see are the base plates. So I had 6 base plates. So those did pretty well. I triple bubble wrapped them, so they survived pretty nicely. But the downside was I had to remove every single coral. So a lot of those broke or went through some troubling times. But the only way to make this transport was to take everything apart, pretty much. So it's funny, when I rebuilt this at the Lego house, I was by far the one that took the longest. I think it took me about 7 hours to put it back together. A lot of the other builders they took their mock and set it down. They're like, I'm done.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's awesome and it's beautiful, and I'm glad that you took the time to make it look incredible there. Okay,
Thanks,
what do we got next? We got a plane. I see a plane.
Yeah. So another crazy addition to this story is that Lego's PR department contacted me before I came and asked me if I would be willing to be kind of featured and interviewed through this whole process. So they literally had a camera on me as I got off the airplane after a 20-hour red eye. So this is kind of showcasing that a little bit, this crazy experience. And a bunch of the pictures you'll see coming up here show them. There's their interviewing team. That's Timothy from Russia. I do at some point want to talk about his work. Amazing guy, amazing builder. And we were kind of 2 of the builders featured during this marketing thing that Lego was doing.
What did he and so he is displaying there as well?
Yes. Yep.
And what is he displaying?
He has quite a few there. He did a cockatoo bird. He did the typewriter. He did this really funny guy with brick abs.
Oh yeah,
Um,
okay. So I think it was in the very first, the first or second AFOL Spotlight Live back in, maybe it was the end of January, the beginning of February. I believe it was Jake Sadovich was my first guest on this live stream, and we brought up that guy's. It's Timothy.
yep.
We brought up Timothy's Instagram, and we looked at it then, and we're going to look at it more tonight because he's posted more incredible stuff since then. So
Yeah.
this live stream has been going on long enough now that we can revisit some people. Granted, there are thousands of other people out there that we haven't talked about, but we'll talk a little bit more about Timothy later. Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Awesome. And then next up, we've got, this looks like you at the Castle Hotel in Billund.
Yeah. So Lego put all of us up in their brand new Lego Castle Hotel. At this point, I don't think it was even open 6 months. Very,
Wow.
very. And it's totally Lego. I tell people it's kind of like if Lego was Disney World. I mean, everything is Lego, and there's sound effects, and it's super cool. And the next couple slides, I think, show some more. There's my bedroom, the knight's room, and everything is thematic and totally Lego. It's so over the top and awesome, just incredible. Legoland Billund was closed. Unfortunately, they have some closure weeks during September, but it's right across the street from the Castle Hotel, and which is basically across the street or down the block from Lego House.
Awesome. Oh, this is rad. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Paul Hetherington was there. Is this?
Yep, Paul's another one at Lego House right now. Kaz Mockett is right in front of me there. Simon, I can't remember his last name. He's from Germany on the left. And this was our first kind of introduction to Lego House. This is Mike and Stuart. They kind of run the show there. And it's just us, the 15 of us with them in Lego House. It's closed down to the public. We got this private tour. It was super rad.
That's awesome. Jennifer Hooper I just happened to notice in the live chat said, "Do any other Lego Masters have YouTube channels?" I'm assuming she's talking about contestants from the TV show. But Ryan, you're not on YouTube, are you? Are you on YouTube?
I'm not. No. It's something I've thought about, but I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. All right, Jennifer, circle back on that during the Q&A, and I'll tell you a little bit about other YouTubers who were on Lego Masters. Okay, we're diving back into Ryan's images. And next up, these are all the people that are in there this year.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, and you see, I'm sure some of you, if you follow Lego on social media or anywhere, you've heard some of these guys, but guys and gals, but just an incredible group of builders. And Boone, just the entire experience for me from day one at Bricks Cascade 2019 till now has been one of just humbleness. Like I can't believe that my build is at Lego House, but that I'm in company with these people that build just absolutely incredible things. It's just been mind-blowing experience, and to be hanging out with all of these folks and have my work in this kind of amazing gallery. So please check out all of these builders on social media. They're all awesome.
Yeah, it's the crazy thing. That was one of the. Sorry, I'll try not to talk too much about Lego Masters while it's your part of the story, but one of the crazy things that I have recognized is that there's this whole new part of the world that has had their eyes opened to people who build incredible stuff, giant, amazing, incredible things out of Lego. And part of what disappoints me a little bit, it's not disappointing is the wrong word. It's just I feel compelled to try to help share with those people the fact that, there were 10 teams on Lego Masters United States, and for every single one of those 10 teams, whatever state they were from, there's another, 100 or 200 or 300 or however many incredible Lego builders, you know what I mean? And the variety is just out of this world. So anyway, hopefully we can illuminate some of that here. And like you said, you were there among all these other people, and you absolutely deserve to be there. And you said that you were there with all these people who build incredible, amazing things, and it's because Stuart came and saw someone who built an incredible, amazing thing and asked you to come, right? So,
I suppose, yes.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's amazing because there's people in here that I know there's people in that. I'll go back to the group of people. I know there's people in here whose names I don't necessarily know, but if I saw their mocks, I would be like, oh yeah, they built that thing. But of course, like Paul Hetherington is one of my biggest inspirations. Jason Alleman, of course, is amazing and has done so many awesome things over the years. And then I just know like Timothy, you mentioned theirs right in the middle of that photograph, and so yeah, it's really awesome. And it's unbelievable how many incredible Lego builders are out there. Okay, let's can we keep plugging through your pictures here?
Oh yeah, and we can kind of zip through these. But this is Lego House, and everyone I meet that's interested in Lego, I tell them that this should be a bucket list thing. You got to go see Lego House. It's absolutely incredible space, gallery, interactive. It's just amazing. This is that tree of creativity. It's the largest model Lego's ever made officially. It's like 9 million pieces or some ridiculous number. Just amazing up this spiral staircase. And then this is the Masterpiece Gallery where my work is and the other builders put their work. And it has these 3 amazing dinosaurs, each made out of the 3 major systems. So like Duplo is the red one, Lego regular system in the middle, the green one, and then Technic is the yellow dino on the right there. And here's Stuart, the kind of curator of Lego House.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really actually in these pictures, it's interesting to see these dinosaurs with the display cases empty around them.
Yeah.
Because y'all are like just about to fill them at this time with the stuff that you're going to put in. And what do we got here?
Yeah, so these are just, again, we're trying to shed light on so many amazing builders. These are just a few of the things that caught my eye. I have hundreds of photos, obviously, from my adventure, but just I really like nature and animals and that kind of stuff. So some of my favorites in various displays around Lego House.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is just incredible. Greebling. This is down in the museum
basement, right?
at Lego House. And it's the entire Lego logo. It's like 6 feet wide, but you can see all the millions of pieces used to make the logo. Super cool.
And this is it. Here it is.
Yeah.
Model on display.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. And so you're at the end of a display case, right? So people can sort of walk in front and they can come around the side and see it from multiple angles.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I kind of requested that because I knew I wanted to have this side build to showcase. There's like a bench off to the left there that people can sit at.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, and then these are some of the other people who are displaying up there now?
Yeah, for sure. We can showcase some of these just incredible diversity of builds, and you could tell that the people they chose, were different, right? That they had different styles and looks and different eye appeal. Just amazing. Bionicles. There's Paul's robot, Colorful City. This is Zio. He did a whole bunch of stuff, the bonsai tree and all the dogs. Just another incredible builder. Such personality to his work. Kaz Mocket's Micropolis up in the top right. This is Eno, I think his name is pronounced, from Finland. as well as Lego 7 is the bottom builder there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love that circle band. It's just
yeah,
it's unbelievable. I've seen some really really clean photographs of that one, and it's just, I mean, the details are just, it's, you can almost look at every single character in that band and see, more details that are just like set it apart from every other piece of the build. It's unreal. What is
absolutely.
this?
This is just one of my favorites. This is down in one of the interactive areas. It's actually a kind of like a Sim City Lego experience is the best way
Oh,
to I can describe it. So if you've ever played Sim City, you have your parks, you have your residential, commercial, industrial. So what they have are these overhead projectors, and you can build a little city. So you can build like a residential zone on a red base plate, and you put it into this thing, and it interacts. It's totally amazing. But on the wall, they have this
ah,
like 10 or 12 foot mural, micro scale of Copenhagen.
okay.
So it's just one of those things. At first glance, you don't even realize it's Lego, and then you get close to it, and you just mind blowing. Yeah.
Real quick, Steve Austin in the chat gives a $19.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Steve Austin. We really
Yeah.
appreciate you supporting the stream. And Noah Campbell with $1.99 says, Boone, you're my favorite Lego master, and also says, love the Reef.
Thank you,
So
Noah.
thank you, Noah.
And Steve. That's awesome.
Thank you, Steve. Steve, you're awesome. Oh, so this is from that left hand side that you were
Yep. Yeah.
mentioning.
Here's the view I envisioned, and I think it turned out pretty well. I
So
don't
you're
think I have a photo in here, but the crazy thing about this, Boone, was that I had to build this part of the reef, rebuild it inside the glass cabinet.
oh.
There was no way to access this side of the cabinet, which they didn't tell me. So I spent about 4 hours leaning over the top of the reef,
Oh my
building
goodness.
this upside down. It was crazy experience.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You said that it took you a lot longer to install yours than anyone else there. What were they doing while you were working on yours? Were they just like having fun in the Lego house and like down the street at the pizza pub or what? Like
Totally.
what? Yeah.
Yeah, it was they went off and like explored Lego house, it was closed down, so it's like wide open, you can go, and I'm just
Wow.
like sweating and freaking out, like I have to get this thing done. They have all these schedules, you got to keep on schedule, and they were kind of getting worried. They kept coming up to me like, are you good? Are you gonna get this done today? And I'm like, I'll get there.
Yeah. I see I'm such a I have a great deal of fear of missing out, and I'm such a social AFOL that like I that would have killed me if I knew that everyone else was like out there having fun while I'm still trying to install my thing. So props to you for getting it done. It looks incredible. Here's a here's a shot of you with the reef there. That looks
Yeah,
good. And this is
yeah,
this is like your avatar on or your Facebook profile picture, right?
yeah, yep, yep. And there's the whole. So you shared the display with three builders, so you kind of each get an equal amount of space through the display.
And the crazy thing of it is it almost looks like you have more room because it's one big cohesive display piece, right? Like you're using all of your space, whereas those other guys, they've got room between their pieces, which kind of like you when you bring a bunch of pieces in there, you want to have enough room to be able to differentiate and sort of appreciate each piece on its own. But inevitably, that wastes a little bit of space. I'm not trying to get too philosophical on that. I just think it's interesting that to take one piece and use every inch of it the way you did is really incredible.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, My favorite view of the reef is always the overhead view. So it just looks like you're snorkeling above it, and I just love that view. So I had to do the selfie, you know.
Awesome. And then what do we got here? Is this a
Yeah,
gentleman?
so I'll just talk a little more about this another crazy. So it just kept piling these crazy weird experiences. I'm sure you can relate, and you have even crazier experiences lately. But um, they approached me on the second day and asked if I'd be willing to be interviewed by the international news team. So I was apparently, according to Lego PR, my interview was seen by 250 million people around the world. So,
Wow.
and this video is part of that. I don't know if you want to show it today, but this is a video that Lego put together of all the news channels all over the world that showed their new display at Lego House.
Is this video on YouTube?
This one is not. This was like a
Here, I'll just play a.
share
I'm not
from,
sure.
like,
Let me see what we hear. Okay. Well, we'll just I'm not logged in over here, so it's not giving me access to play the video, but we'll just let everyone know that that is out there somewhere and they can go find it. And what about this?
This is one of the little marketing interviews I did with them.
Coral reefs are dying from climate change, from pollution, and we may lose these things. My child may never get to see this when she's an
It's
adult.
a little quiet for our viewers, I
that
think,
message
but
is to
this is awesome. Maybe I'll
bring
just turn
attention
that
to
down and we can just let it play, and you can tell us a little bit about it. Is that cool? Or is that it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you can just talk about it while it plays. Is that good?
sure. Yeah. So they did a sequence of little interviews with me during the few days there. Took all this amazing close-up footage, and kind of wanted me to tell my story a little bit about what.
Did you have a
What's that?
Batman in there?
Yeah. That's Mermaid Batman. He's riding the shark.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, I
Um,
didn't mean to cut you off. Go on.
Yeah, so I really like how this video turned out. I built the reef partially because they are really fragile. The name I gave it, Wonders of the Fragile Reef, is both about the Lego is fragile, but also the reefs around the world are really in danger with all sorts of things, climate change and overfishing and habitat destruction. So that was kind of, I think that's why Lego liked my message and why they interviewed me, is because I had some emotion behind what I built. It wasn't just building a coral reef to me.
Yeah. Cool. Rob Ketcherside gave $4.99 to the super chat and says, "Thank you for introducing another great builder." So there you go, a compliment to you and to me, Ryan.
Thanks, Rob.
This is awesome. Thank you so much, Rob. We appreciate your support there. All right, let's dive into our next segment. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's show and tell, and I don't have a song yet for show and tell, so it's like show and tell from Ryan Van Duzor. All right, what do you got there, man? You got some cool mocks in your studio.
Yeah, I do want to showcase one of my mocks I've had at Bricks Cascade 2020, because I think even people that were there, is kind of small, but I just love this build. So let me grab this guy. This is my puffin.
Not now, not now, Arctic Puffin.
Yep, you got it, Puffin Rock. So just I had a blast building this guy. One funny thing about me is I tend to combine my hobbies. I just can't help it. What I'm passionate about carries over. One thing I love about Lego is that I can do all of my hobbies in Lego. So I love birds. I love bird watching, birding, and something about the puffin I just had to build. And also, there's a little story behind this build. In The Last Jedi in Star Wars, they had the porgs, right? So
yeah.
it turns out that the porgs were created as a way to cover up the real puffins that were nesting all over these islands in Ireland and the North Atlantic. So they basically CGI'd over all of these amazing puffins to make the porgs. Well, I thought it'd be kind of funny to CGI over one of the porg Star Wars kits. So I took the
There you go.
the base frame and built the whole. I kind of tore it down and obviously built a whole puffin around it. So
that's a funny idea. I love just those little clever things that you can do with Lego. It's sort of like getting back at them for removing the puffins.
Right, exactly.
Oh, and another thing I wanted to show is you're kind of like me in that here you are today on my live stream, but the video from 9 months ago of you I mean, you look exactly the same. You've got the hat and the glasses and the beard and like the blue plaid shirt. So
Totally.
So anyway, it's one thing I've been getting lately is how people look at my sig fig and they're like, "Oh my gosh, it looks exactly like you. How'd you get?" Well, part of the trick, it's like in the Prestige where the old magician, is able to produce a fishbowl by magic, and it turns out that the real trick is that he just always walks around like he has a limp so that he can carry the fishbowl. Well, part of the trick of having a sig fig that looks exactly like you is making sure that you always look exactly like you, and you do just as well, or you seem to do just as well at that as I do. But anyway,
for sure.
Sorry, I those are the weird things I think
totally, yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
What else you got there?
I'll do a little sneak peek. This is one of the things I'm working on. I have all sorts of things that I'm working on at the moment, but I'm not going to give away what this is yet. But this is totally different. This is not something that I've ever built or tried to build.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe some of you can guess, but I'm not even going to answer for those.
If I think I know what it is, I probably know what it is, right? But
probably, yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I very much look forward to seeing that come together. Do you get most of your pieces from Bricklink?
Yeah. I mean, and in the Lego store when I can make it there.
Right.
But yeah, Bricklink was a life changer, literally. Just amazing. I can you imagine having that when we were kids? Like I can't fathom it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. Although, anyway.
Right.
So you did bring up something, or you reminded me of something that's a little sad. Ryan, for the viewers out there, Ryan was planning on being with me here in the studio for this live stream. We had talked about it maybe a month and a half ago, and I was like, "Hey, I want you to come on soon." And you live like 90 minutes from me, or 60 minutes, or something like that?
Yeah, about 60.
Yeah. So we had so I said, like, could I twist your arm into coming out here and being in the studio with me, and we were planning on doing that, but unfortunately because we're all quarantined at home, we have to do it remotely. But so Ryan, when everything gets back on track, the offer remains. You're welcome to come out here and join me live in person for an AFOL spotlight.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, you got anything else in there you want to show?
I could show a couple other fun things that I had at Bricks Cascade. I don't want to show any of my other mocks. I like to keep the surprise, but
yeah.
I had a lot of. We talked about Jake Sadovich, so I did a couple starships and bottles.
Oh, it's awesome.
So I took the the Lego designers model of Jake's ship in a bottle, but I made this one as a Star Destroyer. So I just had tons of fun with that. I'm a Star Wars fan.
It's like a brown and gold Star Destroyer.
Totally. I even got the flag on the back,
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I did that one, and then
has Jake seen that one?
I believe so, because
okay.
he saw him at Bricks Cascade.
Yeah. Okay.
I got him to sign one of my sets. So
awesome.
And I'll show this real quick. This is the other one I did.
The what is it, the barge?
Jabba's sail barge.
Sail barge.
And it's got a little bit of Jabba's palace and Tatooine, and just super fun. I'm sure you're probably like me in some ways. Sometimes you like to just do fun, silly little things that aren't so serious.
Yeah.
And these were just super fun and things that I had to get out of my system. So
that's awesome. Hey, I got to shout out a few people in the live chat that I've noticed because I love their names, like Agent SpongeBob, Retro Buffalo, and Bacon Hairman. Those are some hilarious YouTube handles. Thanks for joining us here. All right, Ryan, what do you think? Should we go to cool stuff we've seen online?
Yeah, that's great.
All right, here it is. Cool stuff we found online. Cool stuff we found online. This is a segment where Ryan and I go and we just basically plagiarize pictures of other builders' creations, hopefully in the name that we are providing some commentary and bringing a little bit of light to the world and a little bit of attention to some incredible builders' stuff. So I'll bring us over here so we talked about him already once tonight. It is Timothy. And if I scroll down to here, if you've been watching AFOL Spotlight Live since the beginning, you'll probably recognize these in here. And we talked a little bit about Joker, and we talked about the Jack Nicholson one there. But I think everything after probably this 2019 recap is stuff that we have not seen. So this is really rad. I love. What do you have a favorite one from the last 10 here?
Oh wow! I mean, that's hard to. The hyenas right there from let's see, from Jungle Book or Lion King. Lion King. Yeah. The thing about Timothy's work, all of his work, is he captures like emotion and facial features, and I don't know how he does it quite the way he does. He just has a way that you totally feel the emotion of everything he builds. Like every character has the right facial look, and those hyenas. And again, birds, everything birds I love. The chicken, it just has this. It looks like a chicken. It feels like a chicken. It's got that look.
Absolutely.
He did the cockatoo at Lego House too. That was just.
Let's see. Is that here? Because you got to see that. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, if you go, it was up. Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Right here.
Yeah, just amazing. It's a great build. All the little details. It's even got, like, if you see a cockatoo in real life, they have that kind of expression. I don't know how he captures it. He just finds the right pieces to capture the feeling of their look. I don't know how to describe it.
No, it's awesome. And I mean, it's just a really incredible, use of, or I guess I want to say a really incredible mixture of like bionicle pieces and system pieces and just like the entire parts catalog, and just sort of how he explores. Even like, what on earth, what I'm trying to figure out is, how did he get that little line in the eye? And it looks perfect, but what is that? Yeah. What's causing that little line in there?
I don't even know. I've seen it in person, and I don't even know if I caught what that was.
And then this is awesome. So this is sort of like a progress shot, kind of piecing the head together there, or I suppose it probably reached a point where he felt like he was done with the head and took a picture of it. That's one thing I always fail to take in progress work, works in progress pictures. And people ask me like, Boone, do you have any like works in progress pictures? And I'm always like, oh no, I don't have any, because I get so into the process of building that I don't ever think to do that. But okay, here, let's bounce back over to here. I think he's got such an incredible variety.
Yeah.
because you know you go from the birds to like then a bust of Batman, you know, from a comic book, and then he's got you know, a lot of minifigure stuff, but then he's got these incredible like human form builds, you know, and then this cartoony thing. I mean, it's just, and then it's like, then this is sort of like completely different from everything else he's got on here. It's just really, really incredible, the variety that he's showing, you know, in his Instagram here.
Yeah. And I'm biased because I spent my time at Billund with him, and got to hang out with him, and is just a really cool dude. And I don't know, he's inspirational for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's see. Next, I brought up, this is Kraken bricks, and this was sort of like my response to Timothy. And this popped up in my feed today, which I think is called like the Birchwood Stag, and I just really loved, you know, kind of what he captured here. And it's almost like it's not, you know, it's like a stag built out of trees, built out of Lego, you know.
Totally. Yeah.
And just like the snake, I think this is like the cobra over here on the left hand side. I could be wrong about that, but and then that sort of opened me up to just this incredible use of, like, I don't know, I don't even know what's a lot of this, what is this, like bionicle parts, but look at this.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Have you? Yeah. So I was just blown away when I found Kraken bricks here, and it looks like, I think I saw a picture. It looks like it's a pretty young guy, but oh man, this is so awesome. It's like, is it a bug? Is it a spaceship? It's like both. I thought that was pretty rad.
Yeah, super cool.
So you can find oh, I guess I should say that Timothy is Timothy _Tkachev, TKACHEV on Instagram. Kraken bricks is KRAKENBRIX. And then you brought up this bird here. This the is it a robin?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with birds, and bird builds. And this one, the robin, it takes your breath away at first, just kind of the feathers splayed out. But there are a couple of things that stood out on this one. The nest obviously is just incredible part usage. All sorts of cool parts just kind of jammed together. That just stood out to me as something I haven't quite seen before. But then if you notice, you have to look closely, but the bird is suspended. Like she's about to land on the nest.
Yeah.
With a kind of a hidden piece on that brown twig behind her. And I knowing how hard it is to get things to balance and suspend that way, trying to get the puffin to sit on two spindly legs, I know the difficulty in that. And I don't know, it just stood out to me as a unique build from this week, I think. So
let's see who is this? Because this is on the Brothers Brick, the early bird, Brothers Brick. So it is. It's Benjamin from the Brothers Brick. So I wonder if we could. What if we searched Instagram? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Do we get any? This must not. Maybe not him, or maybe it is him, and he doesn't have any. Nope, we're not finding it. Okay, but anyway, it was cool to see the robin, and yeah, that's rad. It didn't even occur to me that it was suspended. That entire bird is sort of resting on like one piece of, you know, like I think it's probably like one Technic pin right at the bottom that goes into that sort of twisty piece of the branch.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Great balance. Okay. And then speaking of balance, you brought up Jake Sadovich's Cloud City. What are we calling these things? Tensegrity.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, these are going all over the place. I built one and I had zero intention of building something that would look cool. I literally just, my entire goal was to build something that worked. And then I shared it and I was so proud of myself. And then like later that day, all the people who had been working on their incredible mocks that looked like something awesome, like sort of started dropping them. I'm like, oh great. I guess what I did wasn't that cool. But anyway, so here I'll just play the, Jake, I think you're watching right now. Hopefully you don't mind me playing your video on my video. And there it is. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Leave it to Jake.
Jake, if you're watching, would you comment in the live chat and tell me those big sort of flying saucer pieces? It's like 4 big quarter round pieces that you use for the main part of the top of the Cloud City there. Are those intended to be Cloud City, or did you get them from something else? And what is the graphics from? Like, because it looks like Cloud City. So was that graphic from something else, or did you create that graphic somehow with those sort of like lines on there? Those are the questions I have about this build, and I don't know the answers just by looking at it, because it looks really incredible. Okay, cool. There it is. And you can see how big it is compared to that Lucy minifigure down there. And then since you sent me and let's just spend another moment looking at Jake Sadovich's Instagram, because it just always blows me away. Go vote on Lego Ideas for his pedal car, because it's incredible. And there it is next to the Pit Special. He's got such a way at building. Like, I know the dude goes and digs through parts at Bricks and Minifigs, but he's got to be buying some of these parts brand new because they're so shiny. All right, cool. I don't know if I can make it through an entire AFOL Spotlight Live without talking about Jake Sadovich. I swear I don't have as big a crush on him as it sounds like I do. I mean, I sort of do. But anyway,
it's a kind of a funny story too. Showing up at Bricks Cascade, and here's this dude sitting next to me at the booth, and he's got a big giant beard too, and kind of quiet. And then I realized who he was. Like, it took me a while because he had his ship in the bottle, I think, there, and had some Star Wars stuff and all his, And then I kind of put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, this dude just hanging out, talking, is made this Legos Ideas set, and I don't know, it's an amazing community, and Jake is certainly part of my initial experience as well as you.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think I met Jake a year before I met you, and so we just had very similar experiences with it, right? Is like, the thing about Jake is he's such an incredible builder. He's got that thing where he can just like use pieces that it's such out of the box thinking on parts usage, but he's just so dang down to earth. He's just such a humble guy. And okay, so my response to the Tensegrity sculpture that you sent me was another one, and
I knew you'd do this.
and it's the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah, just saw this.
And from this is Hachiroku 92 at Instagram. And the thing I love about this is it, like, similar to the Cloud City, it makes perfect sense that this model is floating in midair, right? Because it's the DeLorean in hover mode. And not only did there's the DeLorean. So must have been a recent, let's see, when did this one come out? This was 5 days ago. And then the Tensegrity was 2 days ago. So it was like he took a recent mock and just was like, okay, well, let's turn that into a thing. And it's a great little DeLorean build. I think probably did about as good a job as you could capturing sort of the essence of the DeLorean in this small of a scale, right? I mean, I think this is probably like maybe even a little bit smaller than minifig scale. I don't know that you could put a minifig in there, or it's about minifig scale, but And I think one of the most brilliant things about it is not only does it make sense that the model is floating, but he also he used one of the strings that is required for making the tensegrity model and turned it into that string of flags that gets trapped around, you know, one of the DeLorean's axles or whatever in the second movie. This was the first one that I've seen that actually used the string itself in sort of a thoughtful part of the mock way. So anyway, and it actually looks like he improved the model a bit from, you know, this is what he had yesterday, and then this is what he posted, or maybe 2 days ago and today or yesterday. But and he's using a black sausage over the top of the front wheel there.
Oh yeah, nice.
That's a fun use of that element. I know a lot of people will enjoy seeing that. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to show here in the cool stuff we found online segment was when I pulled this up. I think it was from 2 weeks ago. I had never closed this tab and I had never refreshed. So you can see here we've got Holly's Coraline Pink Palace Apartments, and we looked at it when it had 8,712 views or supporters, and now it's almost like we all get to relive her, you know, reaching the goal again, because if I hit refresh, it goes up to 10,000 and she achieved support. It's like it happened right here in the last 3 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought it was cute that I'd had that tab open and had never refreshed since, you know, before she hit the support. So anyway, thanks to everyone for supporting Holly and for all of the awesome stuff you do. Now, everyone, let's cross our fingers together that she gets through the next phase of that project. And I just thought it would be cool if we went to, like, I like ideas. I like to go to ideas and see what's there. I haven't actually looked at, like, the browse lately. But I did notice Big Planes has a plane in here that's about to hit. He's upward of 3,000. I got to meet him. I'm assuming it's the same Big Planes. I got to meet him at Bricks by the Bay last year, and that's all he does is big planes, and they are amazing. Seasons in Time calendar. Ooh, this looks cool. But then the one thing that it seems like everybody's playing Animal Crossing right now. I have no idea what it was, but I know this thing should get some support because it seems like everybody and their brother is playing Animal Crossing right now. So there you go. And I thought this was a really cute little build. It's simple, but it really captures sort of the essence of the aesthetic of that game. All right, that was it. So now it is time for, you've got it, everybody. It is the AFOL Q&A. I need to have new songs for these. AFOL Q&A. Hey Ryan, what's your favorite kind of music?
Oh man. I like a little bit of everything. Rock always works.
All right,
you know?
Cool. Hey, put your questions over there in the live chat, and we will do our best to answer some of them. While we're doing that, I forgot to put up your Instagrams. That's kind of the main place for people to catch you, right?
Yeah, at the moment.
So let me pull that up real quick. And it is at on Instagram as the.bearded.pescador. And I had to look up pescador. You want to tell everybody what it means?
Fisherman.
Fisherman. The bearded fisherman made a lot of sense to me. And so you can find Ryan's stuff here. He's got a lot of his interesting Lego builds, including some other things like wild turkeys.
Yeah, that's on my commute up to school. The turkeys are always on the road.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was a phenomenon that happened in. Is this in Oregon, or do you cross the river?
I live in Washington, and this is in Washington. This
Oh,
is
okay.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's my commute. Like my traffic is turkeys.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got Josh Duffus says, Ryan, do you miss your reef? So it is on the other side of the world. It will live there until September, or
Yes, that's the plan. Yep.
okay. So do you miss it?
Um, I mean, yeah, but I had it in my house for so long. I mean, before I took it to Bricks Cascade the first time, it was already in my house for years. And I just want as many people to see it as they can. And I don't need it to live here. And I'm in the process of trying to find somewhere for it to go next. I'd really love it to be in an aquarium somewhere.
Mm,
Um, so I'm trying to make some connections and have it live somewhere where others can see it. Plus, it takes up a lot of space, but
right, right.
I'm still building corals. I still look for coral pieces and all that. So
Awesome. Cool. Jeff McElwee with $20 support for the live stream. Thank you so much, Jeff. Jeff, one of our recent incredible supporters, says, Boone and Ryan, what's the speed of light per fortnight? I don't know. I don't even know how to begin to figure out. So it's like, what is the? I don't understand what the per is, because we could like say the speed of light and multiply it by the time length of a fortnight.
I think that's what he's getting at. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't know, Jeff. We could figure it out, but we're not going to take time to do that right now. And then he says, also, great builds, Ryan. So thank you very much,
Thanks.
Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. That's awesome, man. Thank you.
Jeff, you're awesome. Jeff sent me an incredible gift this week that I need to build on camera sometime soon. It's sitting in a box over there, but it was like a pirate set from like '91 or something like that. It's crazy.
Nice.
So I'll be building that soon. I'm skipping over things that might spoil what that partial build you showed us was. Paladin says, how does one acquire a beard as luscious as you guys? I don't know. You just got to start and never stop. And
yeah,
eventually...
it's a time thing. You got to get past the bad weeks. I started growing mine when I was in grad school. I was doing my research in Alaska, and everyone in Alaska has a beard. I think it's like you get kicked out of the state if you don't. And that was my chance to let it grow out and look gross. And I haven't looked back. I've had it for 12 years now. So time.
Persons says, hey, Boone, do you build 4WLC? And Ben said, Perry Wang, what is 4WLC? I'm assuming it's the four-wheel drive Land Cruiser. No, that's not what it is. It's a Land Rover. It's a Range Rover, right? Okay, so I don't know what 4WLC is. Do you know what 4WLC is? No.
No idea.
Neither do I. I did say I would circle back around to whose question was it that said, were there any other... Well, I can't remember now whose question it was. Someone Hooper. Someone with the last name Hooper, but not the Hoopers I know, I don't think, asked, do any other Lego Masters have YouTube channels? And I'll say that the ones that I know like were active on YouTube before we were contestants on Lego Masters were Mel is called Iceberg Bricks. So you go to YouTube and search for Iceberg Bricks. Jessica has a new YouTube channel. And I would just search like Jessica. Oh, her handle online pretty much everywhere is Ragsy or Ragsy Art. So go to YouTube and search RAGZY Art and see what you come up with. I think Jermaine has a YouTube channel and it's called like BX Bricks. So Jermaine is BX Bricks, and then Aaron is Aaron Brick Designer. I think he's started a new channel. And then Tyler Kleitz has always had a YouTube channel, but he doesn't do a whole lot. And those are the YouTube channels I can think of. Maybe Manny, and his is if he's on YouTube, it's called what is it? Viva Lego, something like that. Just search for like Manny Viva Lego, and you'll probably find him. I think he has a YouTube channel. Mav Bricks has given a few super chats, and the most recent one is $2. Thank you so much, Mav Bricks. We really appreciate that. Look, here's the deal. Everybody in the world is trying to figure out how they're going to move forward, given the current state of the world. And I'm trying to do more live streams. I'm trying to bring more people on here. So every little bit helps me keep my internet running, helps me keep, my computer going for these live streams. It helps me entice people like Ryan, because I can hopefully tell him that someday I'll send him a $5 Uber Eats gift card. I keep saying that, and I haven't gotten paid by Google since I started saying that. So at some point in time, Google's going to pay me, and I'm going to have to send out 30 Uber Eats gift cards. But okay.
There was a $10 we missed there too. I think you had a question. $10 super chat.
Okay, great. Thanks for catching that.
Cody.
Cody, good old Cody Otley, everyone, is back to support the AFOL Spotlight Live with $10 super chat. Cody O says, Ryan, great organic builds. Did you see the new National Geographic sets with the new Hammerhead and Manta Ray?
Oh yeah. Actually, Bob Day sent those to me at 7 this morning. And I'm all over those new sets. I will have all of them for sure.
I didn't know that they were tied to National Geographic.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a take on what they did with the NASA Mars mission stuff for the space. It's just like a branch off of or inspired by, but it does have National Geographic there in the corner of the boxes.
That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Holly, thank you so much. $1.99 reminder. How could I forget Tricky Bricks? Flynn and Richard are on fire. They are doing daily live streams. They started out on Instagram, and then they switched over to YouTube. And I remember when we were taping Lego Master. I'm sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to cut you off. I would have forgotten them, and I would have felt so bad about it. But when we were taping Lego Masters, the whole COPPA thing, the child, what is it? Child Online Privacy Protection Act was really, it all came to a big, terrible thing with YouTube back in October, November. And this was while we were taping Lego Masters. And all of the Lego YouTubers were freaking out because they didn't know what was going to happen to their channels. And they were all worried because, we're not necessarily making these videos for children. They're certainly appreciated by children because it's a product primarily geared toward children. But we know that there's this entire global adult fan community, and we want to be able to reach them. And so people were worried about it. And Flynn and Richard were talking about starting a YouTube channel. And sort of in the midst of that, they're like, should we even try? Is it even worth it? And I was like, well, look, if you get on there and you start making content and you just keep making content, then you're gonna do fine. And they've done it. They're on. They've been on YouTube, I think, for 20 some odd days, and are doing live streams every single day. They've already hit over 1,000 subscribers. So it's awesome. So that's the other one, the last one that I would have forgotten about if it weren't for Holly's $1.99 donation. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Flynn. Thank you, Richard. They are Tricky Bricks, TRICKYBRICKS, on YouTube. And see you, Ryan. We're gonna get back to the underwater city stuff coming in this summer 2020. But see you later. Gave $20. Thank you so much. See you later. And says, Ryan, do you collect specific sets or just pieces to build your mocks? Beautiful. Reef, by the way, thank you for sharing. Boone needs to update his mic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Am
You
I
sound
still?
good on my end.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so to answer that, I don't. So I love building sets. That's my daughter and I. That's kind of one of our like father-daughter activities. We build sets together. We're working on Apocalypseburg right now, and so I love buying sets. Um, I sometimes will buy sets just for the pieces, and I'll build the set and then tear it down and use the pieces. But a lot of my sets I leave built or displayed or just kept as a set, and then I buy parts for my mocks primarily, and it's often because I need so many. All of us, I'm sure, AFOLs know that feeling. Like you can never get enough parts in one set for really anything you'd want to do. So buying parts is definitely how I make the vast majority of my mocks.
Awesome. Cool, cool. Yeah, it's interesting now because things have changed a bit. You know, I used to get almost all of my bricks from Bricks and Minifigs because I loved to go in there and dig through the tables and see what they had, fill up a bag full of stuff that I love. But now that's not possible because they don't do that because it would be a terrible way to spread disease. But anyway, yeah, so it's interesting. We'll see. We'll see. I Part of me won't be surprised if that never comes back.
Yeah.
But I'll be really, really sad if it doesn't because that was one of my favorite ways to get bricks. Cool. I was gonna try to show some of the pictures of those Lego City. I loved the sort of the underwater, like not the submarine, but the thing that's bigger than a submarine. What would you call that? It's sort of like a research lab or something like that.
Yeah, totally. If you've ever seen the game Subnautica, it was to me that was totally inspired by Subnautica. I haven't seen anything that is actually being used quite like that, except for like in James Bond films. But
Yeah.
uh, it's that awesome kind of research lab underwater. It's really
Okay,
cool.
we'll go over here. We'll talk about this for a little bit, just because you know, it's not very often that I get excited about new waves of Lego sets because you know, I primarily collect like used or bulk brick, and I don't do a whole lot of sets. But this wave I've found pretty interesting. I don't know if these are just city in this one, but even these helicopters that fly, like that's rad. I want to get some of those and like see how high we can fly them and you know like hook them up to something that just makes them go really really screaming fast and see if we can get them, you know, that would be a fun video to me. um I really like this big plane. I don't know if this is a different, I mean, I heard someone say recently something about this plane, and maybe it's like a bigger plane than we've had in a long time or something like that. um so that's pretty rad. Okay, and then here's where we get in. The Manta Ray was what really caught my eye with this one.
Yeah, it's a spotted eagle ray, but I don't mean to flex on
No,
you.
no, that's great. That's great. That's what you're here for. So it's not a manta. I don't know what that means. So
That's all good.
a spotted eagle ray.
Yes,
And
sir.
how do you feel about the accuracy of the model there of
I think
that
it's
ray?
cool. It has the right shape. Yeah, it seems like just when you think Lego can't get more detailed and more interesting, they come out with stuff, and obviously that coral piece is awesome.
This doesn't have all. Let me see if I can find someone else. Um, this just I'm not finding the thing that had like all the cool pictures that I saw earlier. Brickset, maybe Brickset will. No, this is like not new stuff. This is just all 2020 stuff. Okay, well anyway, I think that the like that. Oh, see, it's here, but I don't want to play someone else's YouTube video. But it's this like it's this undersea lab thing, and there is a submarine, and those remind me a little bit of the stuff that we had in like the 90s, that really like that very first sort of underwater stuff with like the, I don't know if it was like Aqua Explorers or Aquanauts, or some of that was a little more sci-fi, but some of it was sort of based in reality, and it was really rad stuff. So I'm excited about it. Oh, and then there's a new pirate ship from Creator 3-in-1. And when I saw those there's a pirate ship and like a camper, and one of the 3-in-1s on the camper is a lighthouse. And when I looked at those, the pirate ship and the camper 3-in-1s, I'm like, they're gonna have people buying 3 copies of those sets because every build is incredible in each of those 3-in-1s. Okay. Cool. Let's see. What else do we have over here? Do either of you... This is from Elbasunu. Do either of you have suggestions on a good starter set for power function stuff? My son wants to make some moving models, and I'd love to try to make a ball machine. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so here's an interesting thing, is you can get on Lego's website and buy just the components you want. You know, you can go. I think you can still get power functions. I don't know how much longer they're going to make power function stuff because now the Bluetooth-enabled powered up is available. But I think right now both power functions and powered up are still available. But as far as like a set to start, you know, I don't know. Do you know anything about that, Ryan?
I mean, I know you can buy. There's that set that just has the motors. I've seen that.
Yeah,
but.
Really, I'd recommend something like that. I'd recommend either getting on the Lego website and buying just the components you want. You know, the battery box. If you're going infrared with power functions, you get a remote, you get the infrared receiver, and then the motors or lights or whatever you want to try to use, and then, you know, build with what you have, or you can go with what Ryan said. There's sort of this box where you get you get a battery pack and you get a couple different size motors, and what else? Do you like one string of lights maybe is in that box? I don't remember what's in that box.
Yeah, exactly.
But but the thing is if you're gonna go for a set from the shelf that has power functions or powered up built in, there's nothing really sort of at the entry level price point, because they only put that stuff in sort of like bigger models at pretty high price points. So I would just recommend getting your hands on some of those components, whether from Bricklink or Lego.com or eBay or wherever, and then start, you know, just kind of toying around with whatever Lego pieces you have on hand. That'd be my recommendation. Let's see. Everyday Vlog says, have you ever bought a set over $4,000? No, I've never bought a set over $4,000. What sets would cost $4,000? Something big and discontinued from many years ago? Maybe? No. I'm just not that big of a collector of sets. Cool. You, Ryan, you probably have never spent that much money on an individual set, huh?
No, I could. I don't think I'd be married long.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Moto says, Boone, would you consider getting a Spike Prime? What?
I think they're talking about microphones, maybe.
Okay, hold on. Spike Prime. No, that's a... Spike Prime combines vibrant Lego Technic system elements. Here, I'll point over here. Motors, sensors, and the Scratch programming language to teach science and engineering concepts.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yes, I want it just because I've seen it now. Oh, yeah, I remember seeing this because there's some really interesting new parts. This was one of the first sets that came out that had the 2x4 brick with Technic axle holes going down through the top of it. Looks like it comes in a kit like this. I don't know. Moto, I'm very interested in it just because it has motors and it looks cool. I love the colors. I don't know how much it costs. $329. Not right away. But we'll see. I'm really digging the powered up stuff with the sandbox for coding. Okay, cool. Jeff McElwee says, right, married and 4K on a Lego set, no longer married. Joe Dorsey, hey Joe, got a chance to hang out with Joe virtually last Saturday. Says the 42095 stunt truck for $100 is the best deal with an with an infrared controller and two L motors and a battery box. That's actually, I bought that kit just to build one of the mocks that I did last year. So yeah, that's an awesome recommendation. And I won't be surprised if we start seeing power functions with the IR phased out in favor of the Bluetooth with powered up. So thank you very much. Well, I just said his name and then it just escaped me. But oh yeah, Joe Dorsey. Thank you so much, Joe. Really appreciate that. That's a great recommendation. It's the I lost it again. This chat is really hard to manage. So that's a good time to say thank you so much to all of my moderators, Dave Morgan, Moto, Perry Wang, Ben Kahn are the ones I've seen tonight. Thank you guys so very much. We'll do you got time? It's 7:26. We want to do 4 more minutes and we'll wrap it up at a happy hour and a half.
Sounds good.
Cool. So let's see. Shane Shoemaker says, what do you do with your builds when you're done? What do you do with your builds when you're done, Ryan?
Well, most of the time they stay built and they occupy more and more and more space. We have Lego in almost every room of the house.
Oh, wow.
Some things I take apart if I'm not like super happy with it long term, but I have a hard time, like things that I've spent a lot of time and real passionate about, I just leave them together.
Yeah, that's what I do. A lot of my stuff gets left together until I've had it so long that I just have to take it apart for the space or the parts, right?
Yeah.
Persons says, Boone, can I ask you one more question? If you had asked me the question instead of asking me if you could ask me a question, I'd be answering it right now. But sure, let's see. Alexander Crike says, what's your favorite model inside a Legoland park? So you didn't get to go to Legoland in Billund. Have you been to Legoland in the States?
I haven't yet. No. We're planning a trip back to take my family back to Billund this summer. So I'm hoping everything works out. We can go into Legoland.
So let's change the question to what was your favorite model inside the Lego house?
Wow. Well, I mean, if we're talking Lego built stuff, I mean, obviously the dinosaurs are rad, but the city they have in Lego House, it's hard to even describe the details. But they have like this mountain with this ski slope and just so many little scenes. It's enormous. And then there's like an island, and you could just literally stare at it for hours and never see it all. So that was really cool. And the tree is amazing. The dinosaurs are amazing. The whole place is just astounding. They really nailed it with Lego House.
Yeah, I love it. I actually thought that game, when you were there, did they still have the game where you drive around? You put in codes and you drive around the little ice machines that free the woolly mammoths and all that. I thought that was really cool. And the models in there are just amazing. And there was a really rad spaceship when I was there. Real quick, before we wrap up, don't forget to check out Ryan's Instagram at the.bearded.pescador. Ryan, was there anything else, any other links you wanted to share with our viewers tonight?
I do want to shout out to Brick Journal magazine. They're actually going to feature me as a cover story for their next edition. So you can subscribe for a physical magazine or an electronic magazine there.
Awesome.
So to look for that. That should be coming out pretty soon.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you. This live stream is brought to you by all of the wonderful super chatters in the super chats. Thank you so much tonight. It is also brought to you by Boone Builds. There's just a little bit going on here. You can see some of my past builds. I've got some just like mini kit downloads you can do. I've got one that's currently for sale for one of my ray guns, life size there, and a secret that nobody else knows yet is under the minifigs tab. You can now get my minifig, and Mark's minifig is going to be here very soon. We also have the Beyond the Brick minifigs that have been available for a while. So that's boonbuilds.com/minifigs. You can check that out. And I also, we've got at the way I get here is merch.boonbuilds.com will bring you to the Bearded Builders t-shirt shop. So these are also available right now, and there's going to be some new designs very soon. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really, really appreciate it. Your stuff is awesome, and I've really had a pleasure hanging out with you on a Thursday night.
Absolutely. Glad to be here, Boone. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Another surreal experience in the Lego world.
Yeah, you know, we could have spent a whole hour just talking about that, right? Like, that has been my experience as well. Like, it's just been like one crazy weird thing after another. That'll be fun. Sometimes, you know, I don't know if you ever get those spam text messages where it's like some publishing company trying to get you to, like, you know, like scam you into writing a book with them, and then they end up getting all the money. But every now and then I'm like, I should write a book about this experience, because it's been crazy. Maybe we could get together and find a couple other people and do like a book that's like just 4 stories about crazy experiences in the Lego fandom or something. But
yeah,
anyway, it's awesome. You're awesome. And thank you so much for being here. Thanks to everyone that is there in the live. Thank you to everyone who will watch this video in the replay. Love to invite you to subscribe to Boone Builds here on YouTube, and hit that bell icon if you want to get notifications. Thanks again to my moderators, Moto, Perry Wang, Ben Kahn, and Dave Morgan. You guys are awesome, keeping the live chat a fun and safe place to be. Until next time, build on. This has been AFOL Spotlight Live. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thank you, Boone.
Let's go! I'm aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking